Hello YouTube folks, welcome to my channel. My name is Steph and today we're going to be doing something pretty fun. I'm going to be giving niche book recommendations, and I'm going to, instead of giving like plot synopses, I'm going to be reading a little chunk of the back of the book so I really don't spoil anything, and I just give you like a little taste of why I would recommend this book for a very, very specific and niche reason. So I think everybody can relate to imposter syndrome at some points in their life, right? So if you are somebody with imposter syndrome and you want to read about somebody's experience with imposter syndrome, I would recommend Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. Let's read a little bit of the back, right? Meet Eleanor Oliphant. She struggles with appropriate social skills and tends to say exactly what she's thinking. Nothing is missing in her carefully timetabled life, where weekends mostly consist of frozen pizza, vodka, and phone chats with Mummy. But everything changes when Eleanor meets Raymond, the bumbling IT guy from her office, whose big heart will ultimately help Eleanor find the way to repair her own profoundly damaged one. Eleanor Oliphant, for my fellow imposter syndrome sufferers. My next book recommendation is if you are looking for a fairy tale story that isn't really based on anything else. It's not a retelling, it's a fairy tale story from top to bottom. Starts in the fairy tale world, has a very fairy tale ending. I would recommend Entwined by Heather Dixon. And here's the back of the book. For centuries, the keeper has been waiting within the walls of the palace, but now Azalea, eldest of the kingdom's 12 princesses, has found the magic entrance to his hideout. Azalea, who thought her life was unfurling brightly before her, but then lost her mother and her freedom. She too is trapped inside the walls of the palace by the strict rules of mourning: no color, no sunlight, no suitors, no dancing. What is more, her father won't stop treating her like a child, so the keeper extends an invitation. Each night, Azalea and her sisters may dance in his silver forest. He is dashing, and his magnetic eyes are always on Azalea. What the keeper wants in exchange may cost her everything, but the keeper should not underestimate Azalea's temper or her strength or her love for her sisters and her kingdom. Fairy tale story, Entwined. If you liked The Woman in the Window and you're looking for something similar but much darker not in the sense of scarier, but in the sense of thematic, more adult content, I would recommend The Girl in 680, the Do Not Disturb series first book by A.R. Torr. Enter a world of lies, fears, and all desires in this year's most shocking thriller. Ooh, I haven't touched another human in 3 years. That seems like it would be a difficult task, but it's not. Not anymore, thanks to the internet. What if you hid yourself away because all you could think of was killing? And what if one girl's life depended on you venturing out into society? Very small back of the book blurb, but Girl in 6E, if you liked The Woman in the Window, but you're looking for something a little more mature. My next niche book recommendation is if you want to cry, but not out of sadness. Like, you don't want like the Fault in Our Stars ending. You want something that makes you cry, makes you really emotional, but not in a sad way. I would recommend Out of My Mind. Ooh, that glare. Out of My Mind by Sharon M. Draper. Words have always swirled around me like snowflakes, each one delicate and different, each one melting untouched in my hands. Deep within me, words pile up in huge drifts, mountains of phrases and sentences and connected ideas, clever expressions, jokes, love songs, but only in my head. I have never spoken one single word. I am almost 11 years old. Out of My Mind. I will say this is, I think, technically a kid's book, like it's for middle school age, but I read this as an adult and it still hits. The next niche little description, next niche book recommendation is if you like strong women, you want like a sort of feminist story, but the women don't win in the end, I would recommend The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker. Here is a story of the Iliad, as we've never heard it before. In the words of Briseis, Trojan queen and captive of Achilles. Given only a few words in Homer's epic and largely erased by history, she is nonetheless a pivotal figure in the Trojan War. In these pages, she comes fully to life. Wry, watchful, forging connections among her fellow female prisoners, even as she is caught between Greece's two most powerful warriors. Her story pulls back the veil on the thousands of women who lived behind the scenes of the Greek army camp. Concubines, nurses, prostitutes, the women who lay out the dead, as gods and mortals spar, and as the legendary war hurtles toward its inevitable conclusion. Brilliantly written, filled with moments of terror and beauty, The Silence of the Girls gives voice to an extraordinary woman and makes an ancient story new again. Silence of the Girls. Look at that cover. Oh, incredible. The next niche book recommendation is if you like dark academia, but you're kind of sick and tired of everything being labeled as dark academia just because there's some sort of academic element to it and it's not actually dark academia, you know, that catfishing that a lot of back of the books have been doing recently for the popular genre of dark academia. Truly a spooky, dark academic story. Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Galaxy, Alex. Stern is the most unlikely member of Yale's freshman class. Raised in the Los Angeles hinterlands by a hippie mom, Alex dropped out of school early and into a world of shady drug dealer boyfriends, dead-end jobs, and much, much worse. In fact, by age 20, she's the sole survivor of a horrific, unsolved multiple homicide. Some might say she's thrown her life away, but at her hospital bedside, Alex is offered a second chance to attend one of the world's most prestigious universities on a full ride. What's the catch, and why her? Still searching for answers, Alex arrives in New Haven tasked by her mysterious benefactors with monitoring the activities of Yale's secret societies. Their 8 windowless tombs are the well-known haunts of the rich and powerful, from high-ranking politicos to Wall Street's biggest players. But their occult activities are more sinister and more extraordinary than any paranoid imagination might conceive. They tamper with forbidden magic. They raise the dead. And sometimes they prey on the living. Ninth House. I hope you enjoyed this video. Just a quick little book recommendation with very, very specific niche categories, niche descriptions that you may not necessarily get from the back of the book. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.